Greetings, fellow interloper. It's Taylor. Hey, if you're looking for a fun way to explore something new, earn some units and nanites and a variety of other items, well, stick around because Derelict freighters have a lot to offer. The most common and dependable method to find a derelict freighter is just to buy an emergency broadcast receiver from the scrap dealer on the space station. The first one will cost you 5 million units and will double in price with each one purchased until you reach a max of 30 million units per receiver. But don't worry, these will reset daily, and you can always return the following day to purchase another one for the base price of 5 million units. Provided you've advanced the storyline enough, Helios on the Anomaly will also give you one free emergency broadcast receiver each week, so don't forget to collect those. Once you have the receiver, you simply activate it and start pulsing. After a few seconds, you'll see a message telling you that an emergency broadcast has been detected. From here, you just need to come out of your pulse and land on the freighter. After you hop aboard and make your way to the airlock, you'll see a console that you can interact with to open it. While you're waiting for the door to open, don't forget to grab the free supplies in the crate just to the right of the door. Something you'll want to definitely plan for is that these freighters are very cold and will drain your hazard protection in a hurry if you're not prepared. I highly recommend purchasing a few ion batteries on the space station for an easy way to recharge your hazard protection because, well, it sucks to freeze to death. But don't worry, there are some things inside that can provide some protection from the cold that we'll get to in a sec. The other piece of advice is to make sure you have plenty of room in your suit's inventory, so move all you can into your ship and freighter before you start exploring. Once you enter, you'll want to quick survey the freighter and decide if it's one that you want to invest your time in. Every system will spawn their own unique layout of a derelict freighter, as well as what kind of enemies you'll face inside. This is important to keep in mind because if I see these annoying creatures that hatch from these glowing cocoons, I just reload and try another system. Trust me, these are an absolute pain in the ass to deal with, and it just gets old in a hurry. If you haven't been in a derelict freighter before, then definitely give it a shot. You might as well experience the joy of target practice with these little guys. But be warned, if you're playing on a relatively new save and your protection is inadequate, these guys can overwhelm you in a hurry. Alright, back to the freighter. When you're exploring, you'll come across 3 various containers. These are little briefcases, which can hold nanites or units. Then there are these larger blue crates. And lastly, you'll see these tall, slender storage lockers. All of these drop a random piece of loot and are definitely worth checking out if you're early in the game and you need to recoup the 5 million units you just spent. You'll also see these tablets scattered about, which tells a story about the freighter you're exploring. So one of the first few that you'll come across actually gives you important credentials you'll need to access the red terminal, which will give you the captain's log. The other terminal you'll come across is the green terminal, which will give you the crew manifest. This and the captain's log can be sold at the scrap dealer for tainted metal, which you can refine into nanites on a 1-to-2 ratio. Meaning, for every 1 tainted metal, you'll get 2 nanites out of it. Not too bad. Or if you prefer, you can choose to sell them to increase your standing within that system's guild. As you explore the freighter, a good habit to get into is to activate your scanner. This will highlight all the lootable containers. This also helps you keep your bearings and finding out which areas you haven't been to yet. You'll also notice these little space heaters that are scattered around, which come in handy if you're freezing. So flip it on and enjoy a little warmth and let your hazard protection recharge a little. If you see a magenta sign above any door, that's an easy way to spot a dead end. While the layouts are all very random from system to system, the one thing they'll always have in common is the final engineering terminal. This is considered to be the most important terminal inside the freighter, for good reason. Once you find the engineering terminal, you'll get a choice between a freighter bulkhead, which will add 1 inventory slot to your freighter. You could get a random freighter mod, or you could just choose nanites. An important thing to note is that if you're lucky enough to have an S-Class freighter mod, every freighter in this system will also be S-Class. The mod itself will still be random, but the class is always tied to the system. As for making your choice, don't choose nanites. It's a terrible payout for the investment you made in the broadcast receiver. And if you were to sell this mod at a space station, more times than not, you actually get more than the nanites you get here. Alright, once you're done with the engineering terminal and looted all you care to loot, you can turn on the teleporter and warp right back to the freighter entrance and head to your ship. If you're more interested in speedrunning for the freighter bulkheads or mods, and love the layout and level of enemies on board, well, make sure to plant a base computer somewhere in the system to come back for future freighter runs, since every freighter within any given system will have the same layout as well as class of freighter mod at the engineering terminal. Hopefully this guide will serve you well in your future explorations. Remember, if you have any questions or if there's something I didn't explain well, please don't hesitate to drop a comment, and of course a like, a subscription to the channel, and shares are always appreciated. This is Taylor with Whiskey Barrel Gaming, signing off.